Hello everybody. I thought I would share with you my first commercial piece of work that I've done as a model. Most people know me for doing World War One modelling, and this is my first exploration into actually doing some commercial work. Set in Napoleonic wars, 120mm. Gordon Mitchell kindly sent me a long time ago some pieces that were originated from some Carl Reid sculpts. So what I've done is re-sculpt and reimagine the scenes that he originally created into a brand new diorama set at Waterloo. So what is it I've created? It's this diorama. It's called the Duel. Should be self-evident as to why it's called the Duel. It's a pistol fight between a Scots Grey and a Cuirassier. There is first-hand accounts at the Battle of Waterloo that such a fight took place, and that's recorded in the annals of history. So I thought it was quite a dramatic scene to put together. I saw some of the original sculpts that Carl had put together and imagined the two being put on the same scene, and just liked the idea of having a pistol fight. And then it subsequently found out that such an event took place. So thanks to Nigel for that bit of evidence and historical background. So what I'm going to show you is what's in the box. Before I actually start and show you what is in the box, anybody who's interested in any copy of this work needs to go to Gordon Mitchell. So I think you can see his email address here. So if you contact him directly, I'm sure he'll sort you out with a mould. Okay, so what's in the box? So it's a very nice big box. And I know he's already sold a couple of these at some of the shows up north. So I think Gordon's based in York. Right, so the usual amount of cleanup required for such a model. So this is the Scots Grey that you get. So you can see some of the detail. That's the horse's head from the Scots Grey horse, and one leg, another leg. So it should go together quite easily. I'll show you one of the other figures, the fit. This is all the detail that you need for the Cuirassier. So some people who may be familiar with some of Mitch's models and some of Gordon's previous work and Carl Reid sculpts will notice some of the details. So I've used them from various sets and, as I say, re-sculpted certain parts. So this guy is in a prone position, so you can see how he fits together. Okay, and his head is at a bit of an angle. It all makes sense when it's put onto the scene itself. And obviously the pistol details. One of the things that Nigel pointed out to me were the regiments that actually fought at Waterloo. So of the Cuirassier regiments, I chose 9. So that was one of the ones that actually came into conflict with the Scots Greys. So some more detail in here. So you've got sword for the Scots Grey, I believe. Yep, and this is the some of the other details like holster and the carbine, all things that you would expect to see on a British cavalry piece at the time. And cavalry soldier, I should say. Right, so you've got the the horse for the French Cuirassier. So it's a two-piece affair that should fit together. This horse actually goes on its side. So once it's put together, it actually fits at quite a weird angle with its head coming up this way, with the French Cuirassier actually stuck underneath with his pistol going upwards. And this is the Scots Grey horse. Same thing, two sides that need to be glued together. These pins are what's been moulded. But what I recommend you do is drill these out and replace these with some wire, because they actually fit into the base itself. The same on the other side with the other horse. So there should be some, I think it's, yeah, on this side, there were some location pins, yeah, here you will see. So I recommend that you actually drill and replace that with some wire. You'll see the location points on the base. So it all fits quite snugly onto the base itself. So this is the base that I came up with the idea that the horse actually has tripped over the shell hole that you can see in the center. Okay, but these location pins here are where the horse and the rider actually fit. So this is where the Scots Grey horse actually sits as well. So what I'll do, I'll put them together loosely with some tack to show you how it actually fits together. To give you an example of one of the horses, this is the Scots Grey horse that goes on the scene. It does need a bit of additional clean-up. This is literally just held together with a bit of white tack, but you can see that it's generally moulded very nicely. You can see some of the flash that's obviously part of the moulding process. Back of the edge of a sharp blade will remove that very, very easily. So this is obviously made out of resin. So in terms of the actual location pins, you can see on the base that this horse actually fits here, okay? So you can see why I recommend it being changed with some wire, because there'll be quite a lot of stress that actually goes through the legs of the horse. Simply just take these off, the same location pin here, just drill into the hoof and put some wire in, and that'll give some additional stability to the model when it's in place. Looks quite nice with the additional bits of detail. So you can see that there is a broken musket here, a cannonball, a water bottle from one of the British soldiers, and a backpack. The idea being that you've got the cannonball that's come in here, so this is the direction that the artillery would have been firing from probably the British side, and this is a bit of a shell hole that's been created where the it's gone more in rather than bounced and flat across the ground. It's a bit flatter on here on the base, and this is where the French figure of the Cuirassier actually sits. So he actually sits in this space here with the horse at this angle, which I'll now show you. I've just put together quickly the horse and rider for the diorama. I've not done any cleanup. It will require some cleanup, so I wouldn't recommend this set going to a novice in modelling. Haven't added all the detail onto these figures, but as you can see, the basic composition of the fallen Cuirassier and his horse. And this is the Scots Grey horse that I'll just add in comparison to the fallen French Cuirassier. It's just so you can see the basic composition. So obviously the pistol being aimed up at the Scots Grey, and conversely it'll be aiming down, try and take a pot shot at the fallen rider. So it's just to give you an idea of the overall composition. As I say, this isn't recommended for a novice in modelling. There is a bit of clean up and some filler will be required, but should turn into a very nice painted project and diorama once it's put together. Just so you can see what you get in the bag. Some of the detail. So some cleanup will be required. You can see here, for instance, just do that with a knife, or if you've got a Dremel or something like that, that will come off easily. And this is the Scots Grey. You see his detail. Oops. Got a leg. See how easy these go together. And obviously, once he's cleaned up, that will go on there. Just need super glue, that's all required. See the nice detail. So this should paint it really, really nicely.